Oh, hello everyone. Nice to see you. I'm just actually going to use my glasses as a bit of a handy headband. Just put my SPF on and thinking about what to do today. I've still got the warmth in my skin from my sun blush from James Reed, which is just that really beautiful mist. I did a live with him on my Instagram. It just gives that lovely warmth, avoids me from looking too pink and evening out my skin if I don't want to wear too much. So we're going to keep it warm and autumnal today, but also go through some like nice little beauty basics. And one trick, if you kind of struggle with your eyebrows, is to do your eyebrows first. And maybe you struggle with your eyebrows in the fact that the pigment doesn't last, or the clear gel that you're using is kind of getting a little bit mucky and picking up different product. You're just not getting that kind of clear slip. When you put your product on or you're inking your eyebrows, you just don't have that aha moment where it feels and looks great. One little basic trick to avoid that from happening is, I'm not prepared, is to remove any product from your eyebrows before you even do your makeup, and do your eyebrows first. So I'm just going to use a little bit of La Roche-Posay micellar water on a clean cotton pad. I've done all my skincare and I'm just going to run this through backwards and forwards on both brows. And then I'm going to do my brows. Now, if you like a low maintenance kind of look, and you want something that is going to last, I have to say there isn't anything else like Wonder Brow. I used it a couple of months ago because obviously I did the break in the summer. And I've used the Wonder Brow gel most of the summer myself because it just lasted and it looked really soft. There are times when I want to kind of ink my brows and do all sorts of things, which of course we do. We're all kind of like, I don't know, you're going to go through phases, don't you? So I want to do like a really soft brow and go through aligning my eyebrow over my eye, just so that when you kind of do that yourself, you can kind of have my voice in your head, hopefully, and you can just maybe tweak a few little things. So Wonder Brow is kindly sponsoring this video. I've done some work with them actually all year. I mentioned Wonder Brow a long time ago when I was working with my charity, not my charity, a charity called Look Good Feel Better, because it's absolutely brilliant if you don't even have any eyebrows, because it really adheres to the skin very well. And because it's a genuine love of a product, they asked to work with me again, so I'm delighted to showcase the Wonder Brow products to you. But I'm going to start with Wonder Brow eyebrow gel first. Okay, now this product comes in 6 shades. It is transfer proof, pretty much waterproof, and it just makes your eyebrows look fuller, but it's also great if they look super sparse and you've got gaps in between your eyebrows. So as you know, I've had a little bit of tattooing on the edge of my brows here, but it's very subtle because I want to build them up if I want to. That was my choice. So I'm going to show you, especially now, sort of post-summer, I probably might tint them in a while because they're quite fair. But I'm just going to show you how this works. Now I kind of go between two colour products. One is blonde and one is brunette. This is cooler being blonde and this is warmer being brunette. I'm going to stick with blonde today. Now if you've used this product, let me say, if you go on Amazon, they've got over 50,000 reviews about this product. So if you are someone who finds that they can't get any longevity out of all the millions of brow products they've probably tried, then do try this. So this is the brush that it comes with. I think it used to just come with this brush. Now it actually comes with a proper double-ended fine liner brush and a twisted bristle spoolie brush, which is super handy. I like to put it on the back of my hand. Now, to create this look, I've got to be really mindful about where I'm putting my eyebrows. And so often I see it as in my eyebrow product. So often I see women with their eyebrows that fall too short. As we get older, we tend to lose the brows from the inner corners here. So you can actually use the Wonder Brow brush. Take that on the outer corner of your nose, cross it over the inner corner, and boom. That's where you should start. So if you have a little bit of space here, if your eyebrows are very fine, this is where you would start to apply. Now, using this brush, I apply the colour where I need more coverage on my skin with a liner brush, and then I buff and colour in with the bristle brush. I'll show you all this in a moment. So I'm going to show you with the bristle brush first. So you start with the inner corner. So say if you want to, I don't need to with my liner brush, you just take the product, dip it in, and then bring it all the way up, all the way along. Your highest point needs to be looking straight ahead. You cross your pupil with the brush, and then that becomes your highest peak, which mine is. On the outer corner, you go right to the edge of your eye, and then that will give you the line. If you fall short of it, you need to bring it down. If you go too long, just whip those out. So just look how great this is. So I whizzle, twizzle and whizzle, and very lightly, without touching the skin, I'm going to colour in and get the product to sit on my brow. And it's such a good colour, because as you can see, it's slightly cool. It doesn't give any of that sort of horrid warmth, but it gives the illusion of really lovely brows because it's picking up on all the light ones. Now, where I have eyebrow hair, it literally connects to and almost makes those hairs just a little bit more voluminous, fuller. But the wonderful thing is I do another little dip, put it on the back of my hand, and then take the brush. So anywhere where you need to fill in, just take the brush and make sure you put the product in both sides. It's really important how you deposit the product onto any kind of brush, whether it's a lip brush, a brow brush, whatever, because it allows you to get an even distribution of the product. So just going in again a little bit more, and I'm just pressing it very lightly onto my skin, because that's where I need to get the depth to mimic the depth of my brow. And once I'm pleased with that, I just brush it through. And it just stays. Actually stays for a few days. If you're just using micellar water. A friend of mine just had her brows on. She's like, oh yeah, I've had it on for like 3 days. And they were like immaculate. So it's really quite good just to see one and not the other, because it looks so natural. I'm all about eyebrows looking very natural, makeup in general as an enhancement tool. And it's filled in my gaps. And please, if you've just given up on your eyebrows, if they've become very grey, they've lost their pigment, you don't want to colour them, try a product like this. Just remember to remove all the grease or all the makeup product, colour product away first, and then go in very lightly. I think originally that kind of brush sort of put people off, but now it's got this little tool. It's very easy for someone who is not, apt or used to using a lot of makeup. Just push it to the brows, colours it all in, perfect. It makes it so much easier to use. So all I would say is remove all the grease and then go backwards, and I'm literally not touching my skin. If you get the product on your skin where you don't need it, it's going to look too dense and too heavy, so you just don't need that. So I am obviously going to fill in the brows here so that I get that nice balance. Otherwise I look too heavy and too thick at the top. And it just sets in place. So I'm going to go back again, making sure that the product doesn't get too dry. It's a nice little fresh dip, and then go back in with a brush. You can of course put it on a saucer or a little makeup mixer, whatever you prefer. So very light strokes. You won't get that sharp inked look, which I do often. It's much more soft focus, but it just means that it can kind of cover more, which is great. And I think a little bit of thinness I've got here. Now, if you do what I've done and you blob it and you make too much of a mistake, very quickly and lightly, in that sort of like soft whipping moment, just pull it through. How about that? Lovely. Great. So I thought that was a helpful tip, because I know that people struggle with maintaining the pigment on their eyebrows. So let's go in now. I'm going to sort of do this backwards and forwards, this makeup, just to keep you on your toes. I'm going to go in with a slightly lighter. I'm going to use the number 150 Beauty Pie, which is the Everyday Great Concealer. Again, just to show you where to put the lighter part. A little bit there and a little bit there. A little bit in here and a little bit here. Then we're going to blend that out. So these are my bluey grey areas of my face. And then I've got my red uneven part around my nose and just in between my brow. So I'm going to blend that in first. So I'm going to blend this in now with my number 7 brush. The brush is super light because you can see, look, it's hardly even moving that concealer, which is what I love. Okay, so you know the concealer is there, it's going to do its job, it's going to make a big difference. There's no point splashing out on all this makeup if you then put it on and it disappears. Or the tools that you use remove it. And this is just a really nice, light, fluffy brush that just blends everything, or blends the edges together. But you're having a right old laugh about how I look, but it's going to be all perfect when I've finished. Keep the faith, keep the faith. So I'm just feathering the edges only. And I'm just doing that around the eyebrows. Obviously it's super light. And that's the reason, that's done purposely. Because then I'm just going to go in with my colour of foundation. But that's where I want the natural highlights of my face to be amplified. And so then I'm going to go in with my Vita Liberata, which I've used so much over the summer, because you know what, it's the colour. Even if you see the warmth of my skin and I put that colour on, it kind of just neutralises everything and makes it really soft and caramelly, and it feels really cool on my skin too. So I'm going to take the number 2 brush, and this is a nice soft texture. I'm avoiding that part around my mouth, and I'm just going to blend in. It's just like mixing it in, so instantly just get that lovely soft freshness. Now I don't want to go into the orbital areas of my eyes, I just want to connect it all. But it's so nice to play with these textures, right? It's so nice to play with a heavy coverage. Not even a heavy coverage, because I think heavy coverage kind of gets like a bad rap. It's like a texture that is going to conceal and perfect your skin, balanced with something that is going to give lovely radiance to your skin, so it still looks fresh and youthful and has dimension. Now I'm going to use this, because it's got a beveled edge, I'm just going to use it in the socket to break that up, but it's very soft and it's just literally what was the remains. But as you'll know when you watch, you know, professional makeup artists put makeup on, there's a lot of movement and there's a lot of sort of brushing action, and I know that not everyone's got time for that, but it does really make a difference. So this isn't a perfected base at all. This is just very true and very natural, and I love it. Now I came across this Golden Glow bronzer from Max Factor, which I hadn't seen at all, and I love it. So this is like, I used to use one of their pinky orange ones. It's had a lovely dimension. Go back in with a number 6 brush, again super soft and fluffy, but this is going to add the lovely bronzy shade of warmth, not really of tan, don't worry, it blends out very quickly. Just giving a little bit of dimension just around T-zone of my face. I put it on with a small brush on my cheeks, so then I go back in and I feather the edges, just feathering the edges. You know, makeup is all about facial painting, isn't it? It's an art form. And just kind of like washing these colours over my complexion very softly just allows lovely things to happen. And it gives such a lot of warmth. So we've kind of gone a bit back to front, but I think it's quite nice. It sort of shakes it up a little bit. Nice. Right, so for the eyes, I'm going to go in with the same bronzer with my 11 brush, which distributes product in a very soft way, but quickly because it's nice and wide. And I'm taking it into the socket and underneath there. I'm just going to tap the edges. I don't want them to spread, but isn't that lovely? And this just goes, I can actually put some on my lips as well and be really lovely with a nice big sort of camel coat. This has lasted quite well on my lids. I wore this look yesterday, makeup look, and I didn't think it would last that long on my lids because it's very soft and sheer, but I was pleasantly surprised. So just taking that warmth there really tends to elevate that nice lightness in my socket, which I need to give me shape. So you can almost see how soft, it's like a soft water painting, isn't it? Okay, I'm not going to put that on my lips as well. I'm going to go in with a surprisingly Lauder lipstick, which the packaging sort of makes me want to start smoking again. Not that I ever really did. And that's a totally ridiculous thing for me to say. But when I show you this beautiful slimline packaging, it just, you know what I mean? It just has that sort of like 1920s decadence about it. It is absolutely beautiful. So the name of this lippy is Right Time, and it's a really beautiful sort of matte burgundy. So quite punchy compared to the rest of the makeup, but that's what's nice. Gone very warm, obsessed with being brown. I'll let it go next month. Look at this. So it's matte in texture, but it really has a lovely punch of pigment. And it's very non-drying, which I think for all of us is the issue, isn't it? You want to get that nice kind of texture juxtaposition. Feather the lipstick, apply in the centre and then just feather it, and then the brush almost allows you to have a nice lip line. I have to be careful not to go too close. And just soften that down a bit more. Isn't that nice? It's kind of like a red lippy that really isn't there. This, I'd say, I'd go as far to say that this is kind of like a red that anyone can wear. I could see this on the palest of complexions, the darkest of complexions. And someone who's shy of wearing red. God, I love this look. And it's so simple. I've taken a long time doing it because I'm chatting away. Very, very classy. That's what it is. Just going to go back in with the brush that I use for my concealer just to make sure that my lips aren't turning down. To lift that up there, lift that up there. Now a lick of mascara and she is ready. I'll take my hair down so I can sort of see where we're going with this. Pull back a little bit. Lovely. I don't mind sometimes when my skin's not perfect. I don't like wearing a lot of makeup on my skin all the time. I find it a bit claustrophobic. And then other times I love to wear it because it just makes me feel so good, especially if I'm wearing a very simple look. Right, let's go in with my favourite mascara. Oh, I curled these eyelashes actually. These eyelashes, my eyelashes, my hourglass curler. So let me just match the other ones up. I'm amazed how well they stayed. When you're curling your eyelashes, it's always really good to go right in at the base and then again halfway up the eyelash so you get a curve, and then always realign them with your finger to push them up. Lovely. And actually, it's funny, isn't it? I didn't realise what sort of makeup I would do, but I just knew I wanted to wear this lovely cosy hoodie for today because I knew I was going to be doing a warm tone. Isn't it funny how I've got a hoodie on, but actually this red lip doesn't look over the top or too dressed up. And I love how this lid colour is going a little bit softer. There we go. Right, well, I hope that was a nice combination of good teachings and some inspiration of how to pop your makeup on. This is my new favourite lipstick, and if you do try it, if you go into a store, it's Lauder, so that's everywhere. The texture's great. Really, really love it. Anyway, have a good week, guys, and I'll see you next Saturday. Bye for now.